The very essence of the mental game is this. The only reason an event matters is because we make it matter.
Welcome to the Mullins Farrier Podcast.
I had a soccer coach, and he always said, we are going to be the fittest team always out there. Because in the moment, you don't want to be worried about being tired. You want to be focused on the soccer game.
Right.
Which is what's going to translate for me, hopefully, in the CJF, is that I'm not worried about being tired. I can focus on the task at hand.
Granted, he was like, get your specimens made. 3 months before you take your exam, get all your AW specimens made. And it's good to have other people putting that pressure on you as well. Sometimes if it's a single journey, and you've not got mentors that are coaching you, helping you, you kind of rest a little bit.
If you're hearing this, you are currently on the non-subscriber feed. If you would like to hear this episode in its entirety, please subscribe using the link below. If you're a student, apprentice, or just find yourself in a situation where it isn't financially feasible to subscribe, please reach out to me on Facebook or through the website. The good folks at Out West Design and Fabrication are lending their support by helping us to cover your scholarship subscription. You can check out many of their incredible projects on their Facebook page. Out West Design and Fabrication, your choice for farrier rakes. Now here's a sample of this week's episode. Thank you for listening.
Most people that I know in this industry only want the best for the other people in the industry, which is a pretty cool thing.
Welcome, everyone. Well, this one is a re-release from way back when COVID was a thing. In anticipation of the NAEP's Saratoga conference coming up next week, I thought we should play you my conversation with Dr. Sarah Cohen of Equity Performance Equine. A lot has happened since then. I don't have to get a COVID test every time I cross an international border. I don't use rocker toes on hinds. And the NAEP changed from the Northeastern Association of Equine Practitioners to the National Alliance of Equine Practitioners. At the time that we did this interview, Sarah was serving her tenure as the president of the association. We discuss a lot of equine lameness issues and remedies, as well as some debunked theories that have circulated the vet world, but not quite through most of the farrier world. I really had fun nerding out with Dr. Sarah on equine lameness, and listening to it again was a good refresher for me. So, I now bring you Dr. Sarah Cohen. I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I did. And it's not too late to sign up for next week's conference. Go to the naep.com for more details and to get your tickets. My guest today is Dr. Sarah Cohen, and she definitely has a unique perspective on her business as a veterinarian serving the Wellington, Florida area. Her business website for Equity Performance Equine has a description listed under the subtitle Team Approach. Seamless, concierge-style medicine tailored to the needs of your specific team and program. Dr. Sarah was recommended to me as a guest by a previous guest, Dr. Andrea Dubé. Dr. Andrea described her as a badass vet that I needed to talk to. I'll read you her bio from her website, and you'll start to understand why. Dr. Sarah Cohen grew up in New Jersey, showing in the Hunters in Equitation before attending Purdue University for her undergraduate training. She graduated from Ross University in June of 2007, having completed her clinical training at Iowa State University. Sarah then joined Merritt & Associates Equine Hospital outside of Chicago for a 1-year intensive internship, then joining Miller & Associates in 2008, and finally launched Equity Performance Equine in the fall of 2020. Over her decade-plus in practice, Dr. Cohen has developed a client base consisting of some of the most well-regarded in the hunter and show jumping community in the country. Dr. Cohen believes passionately in evidence-based medicine and putting the horse's needs at the fore of all decisions. Since 2010, she has been a regular on the international scene, serving as the USEF show jumping team veterinarian in competitions in Spain, Slovakia, Belgium, France, Wellington, and other international competition locales. Sarah is a member of the USHJA's Horse and Riders Advocates Committee. She lives in Wellington, Florida, and Wacabuc, New York, with her husband Lance and 2 daughters, Evelyn and June. Dr. Andrea's recommendation was spot on, and Dr. Sarah did not disappoint. I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I did. So, I'm speaking today with Dr. Sarah Cohen from down in beautiful Florida. Whereabouts in Florida are you?
I'm in Wellington.
Right in Wellington. Okay. And I was recommended to talk to you from our mutual friend, Dr. Andrea Dubé, who's been a guest on the podcast as well. And she called you a badass vet. Now, I guess you both worked together in New York?
We worked at neighboring practices in New York, and then she split to go live in the more civilized nation of Canada. And now I only get to talk to her through social media and over the phone, but I'm really flattered that she thought you should talk to me. And I don't know if I'm badass, but very nice of her to say.
She's quite fond of you. So what led you to New York? Where did your story start in the horse world?
All right, so I grew up in New Jersey, riding horses, and loved the Northeast. And then I moved all around for various schools and college. I spent a lot of time in the Midwest, actually, 4 years in Indiana, a year in the suburbs of Chicago doing an internship, a year in Iowa, in Ames doing a clinical year. And then a job opened up in a really great sports medicine practice in Westchester County. And as a very young, very newbie graduate, just finished an internship, took a job at that sports medicine practice that's about 15 minutes from where Dr. Dubé practiced.
Okay. So what was your job like there? What sort of cases did you see? Was it a lot of lameness stuff, surgeries? What did you deal with?
I actually initially took the job thinking I would stay in New York year round and focus on like a pleasure set. And I wanted to become a well-rounded vet, and I wanted to make sure that I had skills that were equal in lameness and general medicine. And maybe because of my desire or my background in the sport horse stuff, the position morphed a little bit into, even in my first year, getting roped into coming to Wellington. And I fell in love with it. And I realized this is the kind of medicine I want to practice. So it's mostly a good portion of it is lameness sports medicine focused. But I think that I continue to work on maintaining a good set of general medicine skills because that's super important. And that's what our clients, they want one vet to do most of their stuff. We have awesome referral facilities in every direction I can look. But yeah, the majority of it became lameness and sports medicine focused. And I was lucky to have also mentors with that every direction. And for the first few years that I was practicing, I was pretty green and making lots of mistakes, hopefully not maiming too many horses in my path, but it happens. And it's not such a forgiving place to work.
No, it isn't.
But I was very lucky to have good mentors in a lot of different directions, veterinarians and farriers alike, actually. There's such a high concentration of excellent practitioners in both professions in my neighborhood.
Oh, cool. Now, if you wouldn't mind me asking, who were some of the farriers that you did work with in the initial stages there?
Let's see. So the farriers down here that I think maybe initially learned the most from, let's see. So some of the big barns, John Favecchia was a big one that worked in some of the same accounts that I did, like Boylan did. George Fitzgerald, and then what happened, I think maybe 3-4 years in, is some of the younger, greener farriers and I started learning together.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one kind of great account that I lucked into early in my career, and they were looking to change farriers and asked me if I had any thoughts. And they actually said, hey, we want somebody that maybe isn't as experienced, but really is passionate, wants it, and wants to do a really great job and has the time for us. And I thought of a colleague of mine, a friend who had been, not doing it for that long. And sure enough, now he's been doing that account. We both grew into it a little bit together. And now he's a guy that if I need help fixing one and I just want some input, he's maybe the guy I'll call.
That's awesome.
I'll give him a shout out.